Hi, I'm Rob from B&H, and today we're going to take a look at a neat, ultra-portable USB MIDI keyboard controller from Akai, the MPK Mini. If you're a laptop musician or a music producer looking for a simple and easy-to-use keyboard and software controller you can take just about anywhere, this lightweight, inexpensive little gem might just be your ticket to ride. Akai's MPK series of keyboard controllers has been very well received, and as the name suggests, the Mini is the smallest entry yet in the MPK series. Basically, with the MPK Mini, Akai has taken the Mini 2-octave keyboard from the tiny LPK25 keyboard controller and the 8 pads and 8 Q-Link knobs from the LPD8 pad controller and combined them to create this new model to offer an all-in-one solution. The MPK Mini sends MIDI information to your computer via its Mini USB connection. It's also packaged with editing software for the Mac and PC that you can use to tailor the controls. Let's be clear, not everyone is going to love the Mini keyboard. I'm not suggesting that this is the best performance option for the Glenn Goulds of the world, but if you need to do some simple playing on the go, personally I think the Mini keyboard is a really reasonable compromise between playability and portability. The keys, though small, have a pretty decent feel and are also velocity sensitive. You've only got 2 octaves here to keep the size down, but of course it's got transpose buttons so you can expand the range. In addition to playing from the keyboard, the MPK Mini gives you these 8 velocity-sensitive trigger pads modeled after the ones on Akai's legendary MPC drum machines. These are a great way to trigger drums or patterns, freeing up your keyboard for actual playing. Let's take a look at how we can use the editing software to set up the MPK Mini to have our pads trigger drum sounds in Logic's UltraBeat virtual drum machine. Once you fire up the editor, the first thing you're going to see is this menu in the upper left. Now this is important. You have to pull down and select the MPK Mini from this menu, even if it's already in the display for the editor to function. This really threw me for a loop until I bothered to read the manual and discover this quirk. We've got 4 presets to choose from to program. Let's choose preset 1. Now we can see which note on UltraBeat our pads are routed to. The editor indicates 2 banks of pad assignments, and we can switch between which of the 2 banks our pads are playing by selecting the bank with these buttons on the controller. So preset 1 has the pads routed to some of the sounds on UltraBeat, but those aren't the ones I'm interested in playing, so we can simply change the note on the corresponding pad to what we want. In this case, C1, and voila! Now pad 1 is triggering my kick drum. Pretty simple. Also, the upper notes of the keyboard trigger a sample piano chord, and that's a great candidate for filtering with one of our control knobs on the MPK Mini. UltraBeat allows me 4 different MIDI controller assignments, A through D, and all I have to do is select Learn from the menu, and UltraBeat is waiting for me to tell it what knob I want to route to controller A, so I can select this 3rd knob here, and now that's A. Under the filter knob for the piano chord, I select Max so that only controller information from the controller I choose alters the setting. Then under Max, I select controller A, and then over here I dial in blue band endpoints to set the maximum and minimum values the knob can go to, and that's it. Voila! Now we have a nice filtered chord we can play. Let's take a look at a plugin with a MIDI Learn function and see how easy it is to set control information. I simply hit MIDI Learn. It asks me to move the knob I want to be the controller, so I just move this first knob. Then it asks me what parameter I want the knob to control, and I hit Filter Cutoff here. I'm going to do the same thing for the second knob and the resonance control, and I should be golden. Now we have control from the keyboard of the 2 most basic parts of our filter for our little acid line. Now one thing conspicuously missing from the MPK Mini are the pitch and mod wheels that we would normally find down here right at the bottom of the keyboard. Akai figures that this is a reasonable trade-off to save space, and you can set 2 of the Q-Link knobs to handle those duties. But I do miss having the wheels, and while it's a trade-off I'm okay with, I'm certainly not thrilled about it. On the other hand, the MPK Mini does have something I always enjoy in a keyboard, and that's an arpeggiator. You can tap in the tempo or have it sync to an external clock. There are 8 different time divisions to choose from and 6 different modes to choose from, and you can also latch the arpeggiator so it stays on. You can change settings for the arpeggiator using the editor, or you can hold the ARP on button down and make changes by hitting the keys labeled in red. So for example, if I hold the on button and hit this D key, which is also labeled 1/8, I change the arpeggiator to an 1/8 note time division. If I hold the program change button down and hit one of these 4 program keys, I am selecting one of the 4 preset programs for the MPK Mini. So I can do some quick function changes very simply without having to call up the program editor, so this is a real help for live applications where time is of the essence. So hopefully that gives you some idea of how easy to use the Akai MPK Mini is, an excellent ultra-portable and flexible USB mini keyboard and software controller designed for the laptop musician on the go. For more information on the Akai MPK Mini laptop production keyboard or any of our other keyboard and software controllers, visit us online, give us a call, or stop by our New York City Superstore. Thanks for watching.